Welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's April 21st, 2025, and it is Monday after a long weekend. Holiday was on Friday. The markets were closed. There is, despite the markets being closed, quite a bit going on in the background. We're going to talk a bit about some currency flows that are showing a massive shift. So, a lot of things going on in the background. We're going to be discussing also as this shows trucking and shipments, as well as the IMF and World Bank Group. So, with this, let's get started as we always do with the markets and the fear greed meter. So, this has risen significantly beyond 14, is what it was last Thursday when we left off. So, I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend because this is going to be another volatile week. So we are now sitting at 21. This means that still extreme fear territory, but there's a lot more retailers coming back into these markets again after Thursday. Now, let's go through the drivers. Daily driver is uncertainty, which is going to increase the volatility in the trades. Now, most of this driven by geopolitical events. We've got Iran now talking about more discussions with the United States within the month. So they've had some preliminaries, and that is going to affect the price of crude going forward. And if they can discuss some things that would be good for easing a bit of global tension. We've got South Korea is now talking with the United States about their tariff deals directly. So that could have a positive effect as well if they go back down to the minimal 10% or perhaps less with better deals. In the news, we've also got Japan's yen. Now, major currency shift. We'll speak about that a little bit more. But Japan's yen and the US dollar massively moving pre-market. So with this, a lot of this shifting on whether the United States current president administration can fire Fed Chair Powell. And what's going to happen is they're not going to fire him. He's very short with his term as far as chair. And then he's got additional term on the federal governor's board. We'll talk about that in a little bit more. There is a change for there as well. But between all of the tensions there, that is what is causing the uncertainty. Now, we had the relative strength of the US dollar drop tremendously. So capital, money in general, is trying to flow and find other places to go since they no longer trust the US dollar. So we're finding it flowing into the likes of gold. That is part of the absolute increase in gold. It's hit another all-time high. It's at 3,400 right now. So if it can break above this level and close above it today, then it could advance more. Otherwise, this is currently a bit of resistance as far as the yellow metal goes. So we're going to watch and see how that happens. Now, if some of these other tensions ease up, gold could pull back a bit and create another buying opportunity. So with this marginal capital flows are finding value elsewhere. This is emerging markets. It is also cryptocurrencies, and it is also what is the proverbial stashing of your money in the mattress is now gold, and that's part of that increase. So with this, we've got a little bit of other news. The Pope has passed away this morning. So, kind of looking at what is going to happen next for the Vatican and the next selections. That's going to be interesting. Now, we've got major earnings coming out this week of Tesla, Google, IBM. We've got some airlines reporting. We've got Lockheed Martin as well as Raytheon, some defense stocks, as well as some other large earners. So, not too much today as far as Monday, but we are going to have some major movers later this week. So hitting on the 10-year yield right now is increasing again, 4.366. Now, when this goes up, it puts pressure on the market. Now, we've got the dollar moving down below 98.1 right now, and still looking weak. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what these things are doing. Now, that's good for businesses in general as far as their trade. But as far as purchasing power for individuals, it's not good. and it is also just showing general weakness across all of the currencies. It is the dollar and foreign nations, for the most part, moving out of the dollar at the moment. They're going to have to prove some stability. So, as I was saying, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, above 87,000 now, so benefiting from this as well as the altcoins, all of them up. We've got mixed markets prior to open, and the futures are showing a bit of weakness as well. VIX, or the volatility index, is up 10.19%. So some significant increases in that as well. So, as I said, a lot of major earnings coming out this week that we'll be looking forward to, including Intel, quite a few others. So today, not too much that I expect that would be market moving. We have more of the larger ones, Tesla and such, will be happening a bit later. So with the calendar, we've also got US leading economic indicators coming out 10 a.m. after the market open, but I don't expect that to be a major mover either. Tuesday, tomorrow, we're just getting a slew of Fed presidents speaking, and they're going to be peppered through the week. They're kind of placed there on purpose in order to manage the market. So we've got Goolsby speaking prior to the market open on Wednesday and going on from there. So I want to talk a bit about some of the things that are going on with this market now. The tariff deals are going to continue to dominate what is going on right now. Major meetings with the IMF, International Monetary Fund, as well as World Bank meetings, all held kind of similar at the top, if you will, from that money that they are holding. So we've got Japan again. Last week, they were the big progress. Their boost sent the markets up. So now we're watching the Japanese yen very carefully, because with their inflation increasing again, the yen dropping, they may have to take some action. So, but they don't want to be a currency manipulator, especially in this environment. So they've kind of made a behind the doors promise to the United States that they would not be manipulating currencies. So again, speaking with Goolsby, now I spoke about this Thursday because the jitters were making everybody run out and purchase, and the media is really largely responsible for this, but kind of spurring everybody to make large purchases, stock up on your retail sales in order to avoid these increase in prices. Now, Goolsby is coming out saying the same thing, that economic activity after this could slump by late summer after this artificially high bump. And that was caused by all of these kinds of fears. People, if they're in the markets to buy a car or appliances or any major purchases, they kind of all ran out and did that. Those that still have money to spend. So that's going to create a lull in the next coming couple of months. So a look into what's in store for the United States. This is Germany, but they are look forward. They are reporting now a third of German firms planning to cut jobs in 2025, and this is a bit later in the year. So this is in accordance with the think tank group. They do a lot of polls for the corporations, but this is what's coming for the United States, lagging by approximately, in my estimation, 3 to 6 months, and that is simply from the data that we have currently. So more job losses. So we did have Bitcoin's breakout, and they're talking about this potentially causing a rally. 90,000 to 92,000 is the target. That would be heavy resistance at 92. So if you did buy in, you are in a good spot at the moment. We've got a couple of other things I want to bring up. First, this company, Block Square and Vera Capital, now they've put together a deal to tokenize over $1 billion United States real estate. And the purpose of this, in short, is to kind of trade it as you would a stock, but it's multiple shares of this real estate. And that way you could essentially become a part owner through this contract. and trade it this way. So tokenizing everything, and this is the start of these companies doing this. So I want to turn a little bit to stablecoin giant. The company is called Circle. Now, Circle, and I've been speaking about the payments and remittance system for some time because this is where the central bank digital currency will be introduced. So, Circle, launching again new payments remittance network. They were the ones behind USDC. So, that is their stablecoin, launching new payments and cross border remittance. This is coming out on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So we'll see how that has an effect on the altcoins market as well. Could cause an incoming flood to that, as everything is looking for a place to go outside of the US dollar. So a couple of things I want to leave with. First off, I was speaking about the Fed earlier. Now we've got a new Fed governor on the board now, and it is Anna Paulson. She will be replacing Harker on Philadelphia as the president there. So, with that little bit of a shift, they're not going to change their direction, however, or their goals. So, in the long run, it's just a new face that you're going to see from time to time now, coming out talking more. Now, I do want to talk about this a little bit. This is Russia and Iran having talks. Now, they are inking some deals. And ironically, Russia is now one of the mediators between the United States and the impending unease that is going on with Iran. Now we've got Israel was talking about some strikes uh, over the weekend and some other things. Hasn't happened yet, but still a possibility with some of these things that we've got to watch for. This unrest, if it does, could rattle the markets a bit further. So with all of this, I hope this has helped you towards this. I wish you all a wonderful trading day in general. Thank you kindly for being back. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.